Personalization was always possible, but what was always a challenge until recent times was to personalize things at scale. Now, that is where AI is completely reversing the game. AI and personalization, it is already happening. It is already happening. You take any platform, you take any of the services that you're using on day in, day out, whether it is Amazon, whether it is Netflix, whether it is Hulu, whether it is HBO, whether it is YouTube for that matter, everything is being personalized. Whatever you see is because it is personalized and customized for you based upon a lot of things. There is no need to imagine and exaggerate things when I say AI and personalization. You just have to stick to five basic things. Personalization is based upon your behavior, your demographics, your browsing history, your preferences, and your additional behaviors. Based upon these five things, systems and platforms that you are using is going to show you content that is resonating with these attributes. There are about thousands of TV shows and series on Netflix that you probably may not be able to finish in the lifetime. Now, that is just one platform. There are 10 other platforms that you may be using. Would you want to waste time browsing through these trailers and reading about the shows and understanding if you need these things or not? Or would you let the systems take advantage of your behavior and propose to you what you may like? That eases your job to a great extent, don't you think? Now let's switch seats. Now, from a user's point of view, because you are a user for Netflix, you're a customer for Netflix. From that seat, if we change seats towards becoming a business owner or as a marketer for a business, things seem completely different. Now you are not at the receiving end. Now you're at the providing end, which means you have to steer ways to provide these things to your customers. Now, basically, personalization in AI is divided into just a handful of things. So if you want to devise a system or if you want to devise a personalized system for your customers, these five things are going to come handy for you. One is leverage on the recommendation systems. Second is heavily go all in when it comes to segmentation. The third thing is data is something that can take you a long way. It is like the lifeboat when your ship is sinking. Number four is personalized email. There is no substitute for a well-written, personalized, customized, no bullshit email that you send out to your customers. Number five is using AI to generate personalized chatbots or customized chatbots that can provide a very personalized service for your customers or potential customers so that they feel empowered to do certain things by themselves. Let's get started without any delay. Let's begin. All right, I have just retained the example of Netflix to understand concepts simply and not to overcomplicate things and to switch seats and switch gears when we speak about different companies. So I've just taken one example of Netflix and how Netflix does all these five things so that you can understand as a business owner or as a marketer the best approach that you should follow to personalize things for your customers leveraging on the AI-based solutions. So if you look at the first image that we are going to talk about, now this is you. I apologize for the bad artwork. This may not be exactly the way you look, but let's assume that this is you for the time being. And you are a subscriber on Netflix. Now, when you have Netflix with the AI-based solutions, what Netflix is able to do now is using the recommendation systems, it is able to divide TV shows and movies based upon a few factors that we had discussed in the past. So using your browsing history, using your viewing history, using your preferences, your behaviors, your attributes that you have exhibited online on the platform, using these AI-based solutions, Netflix is going to divide TV shows and movies based upon all these five factors. Now, you may have exhibited some amount of interest or some amount of appreciation towards certain genres of content. Now, Netflix feels that maybe this is the best shot for it to customize things for you. And once it does these, it recommends these things for you. And based upon your behavior here and the information collected, you will be shown very, very, very appealing personalized ads based upon your behaviors that you have exhibited so far. Now, if things go right and if it's a match, you will inevitably start clicking on those ads and start consuming relevant content. You have saved a lot of time and confusion. Netflix has saved its most valuable marketing dollars by not sending you and making you run around all through the platform, but giving you exactly what you need. That is personalization at scale. Now, let this sink in for a bit because all the other four aspects that we would be talking about revolve around the same kind of logic. Basically, you go to Netflix based upon your past behaviors, your interests, your past watching history, and other attributes. Netflix is going to give you recommendation of TV shows and movies, and from the behaviors that you exhibit and the information it collects from this at this stage, you are shown very, very relevant, appealing ads based upon these behaviors, which will make you go ahead and click and engage with those ads. Now, this not only increases the chances of engagement, it will also increase the chances of sales, because these are not random selection of ads that you're shown. These are ads which are created based upon your behavior that you have exhibited on the platform which Netflix owns. There is no better way than this when we talk about personalization. I wanted to let this sink in. I wanted this to sink in for a bit, so I've taken a little longer for this. Now, moving forward, the second most important thing when we speak about personalization is audience segmentation. Now, this when I say audience segmentation, and imagine you are Netflix now. Now, audience segmentation is how you would be able to you're going to classify people based upon different things. For example, there are four groups of audiences, or four segments rather, that you see here. Now, let's start naming these segments. All right, let's say the audiences in white that you see here are the audience, or the segments. The segment in white here is the audience which loves the genre of romantic stories. The second set of the second segment in orange, let's assume this is an audience that finds its kick in adventure. Number three, the audiences in purple, assume that these are the audiences, or this segment specifically is interested in detective stories and mystery thrillers. The audiences in blue, or the segment in blue that you see here, assume that this is an audience which is very, very interested in science fiction. Now you have these four different sets of audiences. Netflix uses the AI powered segmentation techniques and technology to group these audiences. And what follows that is what is interesting when we look at it. The audiences in white will be only seeing ads related to the genre that they have exhibited interest in through their behaviors, which is love stories, and they would start seeing ads all across the internet, which is customized, personalized for them based upon ads from Netflix based upon the genre that they are interested in, which is love stories. Similarly, the audiences in orange, the segment in orange, will see ads related to the genre that they are interested in. The audiences in purple, and likewise the audiences in blue, will start seeing ads related to the genres that they are interested in or they have exhibited interest towards too. What is making this possible is the segmentation that is powered by AI that Netflix uses to customize these ads based upon the genres of videos or shows or movies that they have watched in the past. This makes it very, very exciting for Netflix, basically, because it is saving a ton of dollars that would have spent otherwise in making these segments run around all the place and let them figure out what they want. Instead, it is taking another approach where it is basically looking at the behaviors exhibited in the past. Why would you see trailers of 100 love stories otherwise? If you're not interested in it, why would you do it? The next thing that we would be talking about is my personal favorite, which is data. Now, data is that most important juice in this whole ecosystem of personalization, because data not just gives you information about what happens on the platform that Netflix is using, but data can also be collected from the ads perspective. The ads that Netflix runs, data is collected from that also. Based upon that data and based upon the data that you have, which is from the platform Netflix, about what users like, dislike, what they have engaged with, what they have not engaged with in the past, combining both the pieces of data, you can come up with an exciting set of ads and things that you can measure that will define their engagement. And you can leverage this data and feed it into the AI systems that ad platforms use today to give you maximum performance out of your marketing spends and activities. So data is something that is extremely helpful when it comes to personalizing solutions for your advertiser, for your audiences. Humans are very smart when it comes to detecting bullshit. They almost hate, and they can smell things being sold to them, or they being pushed to buy something from a distance. They can sense that. So there is nothing smart than sending a very, very personalized email that hardly is selling anything. And if you can make this around the value that you would want to provide an audience, he's a happy customer forever. Just don't sell anything. Just don't try to push it, and don't make it look spammy. If you personalize these things based upon all the info that you have collected, I don't think. I mean, let me give you an example. If you are talking about a romantic story, or if you're talking about somebody who is interested in detective movies, and let's say if you know that he's interested in detective movies and shows which are related to suspense and thrillers, why not use a character from one of these movies or shows and weave a story in this personalized email, talking to him in the tone of the show or the movie that you're talking about, right? That can make it. I mean, that'll leave him hooked for the rest of his life for your emails. Uh, Not just people who check these emails and send them to spam. This guy would be a fan of your emails that you will be sending forever. That's about it. Going forward, how would you feel if you did not have the capability of resetting your password if you had forgotten them? It happens all the time, right? I sometimes forget passwords that I have created like 2 days ago. It's quite possible. If I don't have the functionality, or if Netflix does not empower me with the resetting my own password, I would hate it if I had to go to them every time for helping them reset my password, and they would hate it too, right? If you have these problems, and if you have these and I mean, Netflix knows that these situations would arise. So the AI powered personalization here is talking about, translates to the concept of having a chat bot in place which is personalized, so that you can get answers for your questions that you would want to. For example, what kind of Netflix package that you would want to go to. Would you want to go to the option A, B, and C? You should be able to take these decisions by yourself without having to ask Netflix every time, because it's annoying for you, number one, and it is disturbing. It is not such a great investment of time for Netflix, because they could use that time to come up with better solutions. So they feel anything that is not life threatening and not causing a huge damage to the customer, if they give them the power to the customer, if it's vested in the hands of the customer to solve these things by themselves, not only would they be feeling like they belong to the platform, or they're a part of the platform, or they're part of the big wheel, but it is also good because they feel they're empowered to do these things by themselves. It saves a lot of hassle for them as well. So consider having a personalized chatbot. If you're a marketer, or if you're somebody who is running a business, have a personalized chatbot for your products or services based upon the common problems that users may face or your potential audiences might face. That's about it from me. I hope you enjoyed this session. If you have anything else that you would want me to make videos about, please put it down in the comments and I will get onto that right away. Thank you so much. My name is Casey. Until next time. Ciao.